Okay, I just remembered that I said I would make a little video here. So what we got here, I got the cart partially disassembled to crate it. So when you go to put this together, the shafts are off, but the cart body here and the wheels are all on. And underneath the front of the cart here is about 17 inches, give or take, down to the floor of the ground. 16, 17 inches. So when you go to put it together, you get it out of the crate, which you'll need a number 2 square drive screw head or else a reciprocating saw to just cut the wood pieces. But once you get it out of there, you have this cart body and the wheels on it sitting on the floor or ground. Put something underneath the front there. It's about 16, 17 inches tall. Even a strong cardboard box is probably strong enough, but a milk crate, anything just under the front there. Like I've got this stand here that's under the single tree bolt, but that single tree and shaft base won't be on it when you start putting it together. So once you get that sitting up on a stand of some kind, you can put the shaft base here on with the 2 bolts that hold it in place. Just put the bolts in and tighten the bolt nuts down, mostly tight. Put your braces on, which are labeled. They got a bolt on each end. And then you can put the braces are set at a length that I think should be pretty close. So they change in length with these 2 set bolts. That makes it act like a sliding, like a trombone slide. So that allows the tips here to go up or down to adjust for the height of your horse and to keep the shaft or the floor of the cart level rather. Now I'm going to put a little piece of stripe here so that this lines up. You line that stripe up when you put the tips in, and then tighten these 2 bolts, and that locks your tip in place. You can pull them tips out and you can always line it up. They only go in to where this collar hits against the shaft base, and then you just line the mark up. So if you need to stand it on its tail or take the tips out to haul it, you can put them back in easily in the same place without having to measure and do all that. Once you get your shafts on, tighten all these bolts up. There's 3 on each side for the shaft base and the braces. The single tree we can leave here. Now this single tree, you can take the bolt nut off and flip this single tree around to the underside of where it's mounted here without it being any problem, to lower the height for your line of draft. When you go to put the seat on, I'll just move over here. On the seat, you take these 1/4 inch bolts. Now they take a 7/16 wrench. Every other bolt takes a 1/2 inch, but like on the shaft base there. But these are 7/16. You just pull the bottom bolts out, and then this little arm folds back, and then you can push the seat rails into the receivers on the cart and push them in until the tape, I've got tape on the front there, that tape just goes up even to the front of here, and then you can tighten down the locks, and then the seat is pretty much adjusted for balance, but you can tweak that forward or back however you need it for balance. And then the back goes on to these pieces here, just up to the tape is standard depth of seat for this size of seat base, but you can adjust that back forward and back if you need to for comfort's sake as well. The suspension is all together. Everything is together the way it's supposed to be there. The bearings and the wheel bearings are torqued down. All that's all good. The fenders go on to the mounts on the seat here. There's mounts on the seat for the fenders. They're labeled left and right, but it's obvious which is which. When you put your fender in on the seat, you put the fender in onto the mounts. They bottom out, and then you just hold the end of the fender up level with one hand while you take and tighten this 1/2 inch set bolt on the inside of the mounts. So they're easy to take on and off. Other than that, I think we're pretty good to go. The whip holder is there on the floor. It can be moved to the other side if you want, but I put it on the right hand side there. I like the whip on the floor because the whip isn't as high as when when it's on the seat bracket. And I like being able to reach forward to the whip rather than trying to grab it from right beside me when I'm sitting on there. Other than that, I think everything should be good. Any questions, of course, give me a call.